What's happening, people? I am in Scarborough. If you watched yesterday's video, you will know that I am here in the Grand Hotel in Scarborough. Now, it's time for me to check out. However, checkout is at 10 a.m. It's currently 8:11 a.m. Now, I was contemplating going for breakfast here at the Grand, but it's 12 quid, £11.95, not included in the room price you heard yesterday of £39, £11.95 on top of that. So I thought I'll do a bit of research and see if I can get a better breakfast. Now, there is a Wetherspoons here, but we're not going to do a Wetherspoons breakfast today. I have seen on another YouTube channel a ridiculously cheap breakfast. Now, I'm going to shout that channel out straight away, and it's called By the Curb. It's a couple of Yorkshire folk, van lifestyle content, but also me and Mrs. Dino love watching it. Basically, they remind us of ourselves. They just have a little wander around and have a couple of beers, and it's just a couple of Yorkshire folk being Yorkshire folk. Really enjoy the channel. By the Curb, if you're not familiar with it, go check it out. Anyway, about 6 months ago, I remember them doing a breakfast here in Scarborough, £3.95. Now, I did Google it. It's called the Conservatory Cafe. And on Google, it shows the menu 2 years ago. The same breakfast was £3.25. So, has it gone up in 6 months? Let's go find out. There is a little catch. I'll tell you about that when we get there. But I'm going to get out of this. That's going to be Mrs. Dino saying good morning. Get out of this hotel, and we'll hear them blooming seagulls. 4 o'clock this morning they started. 4 a.m. You'll know that if you watched yesterday's Grand Hotel vlog. Anyway, we're off for breakfast, so let's get out of here and get to the Conservatory Cafe. It's not far from the Grand, and we'll get some breakfast. Right, the seagulls are out in full force here in Scarborough. It's not raining, which is a bonus, because it did say on the weather app 25% chance of rain, and normally in the UK that means 100%. So, as you can see, the Grand's behind me here, just at the top of the road. You've got the little shortcut up to the main street, and I believe it's just at the top of this road and right. So you've got the Dickens bar there, which I mentioned. I wonder if they did cider on a previous video. If you know, you know, that little dad joke there. And you got the Premier Inn up here, McDonald's, a bit of a one-stop, and then B&M at the end of the road, and then you turn right, and hopefully it should be just there on the right. It is 19 minutes past 8. Google, which as we know is usually right, says it opens at 8:30, so hopefully by the time I get there it'll just be perfect. If it doesn't open at 8:30, or if it's closed for any reason, I might have to go back to McDonald's and try the old the new breakfast wrap that I never tried when it came out again. I don't want to do that really. Right, I think it's just down here. Here it is. So it's gone up to £4.40. 2 bacon, 2 sausage, 2 eggs, beans, tomatoes, mushrooms, chips, bread and butter and fried bread. And there's the catch. Only available when purchased with a drink. But that seems alright as long as the drink's not about 20 quid. So, £4.40. 2 years ago it was £3.25. 6 months ago when I watched the video about By the Curb, it was £3.95, and now it is £4.40. Everything's going up though, isn't it? So they've got to move with the times. It's called the Conservatory Coffee Shop. So let's get in there. The sign's out, but it does say open on it actually. It's only 25 past, so they've opened early. So we'll get in there now, order my breakfast, and I'll see you guys at the table. There it is, the Conservatory Coffee Shop. Let's give it a go. Okay, it's cash only, so I'm having to nip out to a cash point. There is a Lloyds Bank straight across the road, so not a big deal really for me. I'm not too bothered about that. Oh, I'll go to Barclays, that's my actual bank. So I'll get some cash out, it's cash only. They don't want to be paying fees on such small amounts of money, do they? Cash is king and all that. I don't know. Right, let me get my money out. Okay, cash acquired. The drinks are not about 20 quid. They're £1.80 for a cup of tea, so it's going to be £4.40 for this breakfast, £1.80 for a cup of tea, £6.20. Just about to start raining, so let's get in there and I'll see you at the table. £6.20, large breakfast with a cup of tea. You know what? It's not as cheap as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be £3.95, but it is what it is. Right, I'll see you at the table.
Okay, so as always, we're going to start with the sausages. You do get 2 sausages on this breakfast, but if you look at these, they look very, very small, and I'll be honest, they reminded me a lot of the 10p sausages that I got from Iceland. Really, really basic, cheap produce. Not the best start to a breakfast. I mean, look in there. I generally rate the breakfast off the sausage, because if you've got a good banger, you have a good sausage. These, they were tiny, they were bland, they just screamed cheap sausage. Okay, the mushrooms next, and it's not been a great start, has it? These mushrooms are very, very dry. They look like, I don't want to say it because I'm the first person in there, they look like they was cooked yesterday. It wasn't the best, and I love mushrooms, but they don't have that earthy, that greasiness. They just, I don't know, there was something about these, something missing on these mushrooms. Not for me. Tomatoes, so obviously these are tinned tomatoes, which I prefer, but I do like chopped tomatoes over this style. Peeled plum tomatoes, for some reason one of them is peeled and one of them isn't. Very, very strange. You can't really go wrong with these. They were okay. Not as good as a real fresh tomato when cooked right. I must say it has to be really cooked right, because sometimes with the fresh tomatoes you get you get them raw and it's not good. I much prefer tinned tomatoes because of that consistency. These, standard. You get a couple of eggs on this breakfast as well. Now, although a lot of you guys don't like where the beans are covered the egg, it doesn't really matter to me. I like these eggs, were okay, look nice and runny, both yolks bust nicely, which is what I look for. No snottiness there, but just like nice and runny, but like whited over the top. I'm not sure the actual term, I'm sure there's going to be a technical term for it, but yeah, these were decent eggs. Something to dip the other things in. So you got fried bread and chips on this breakfast, so a nice runny egg is what you're looking for. Like I said there, you do have chips on this breakfast. Now you don't get a lot of chips, but they are there. Deep fried chips, they're like homemade chips. So although they were really, really nice chips, I'm not sure that they belong on a breakfast. What do you guys think? Remember, this is at 8:30 in the morning and I'm eating chips for breakfast. I don't know, is that just a seaside thing or is it just this place in particular? The bacon, all that white stuff on the bacon screams to me that it's been cooked and then left, because I just don't understand. I'm the first customer in here. Obviously, people came in as I was eating, especially the people that have with the dogs that are barking, which is why I'm having to do a voiceover. But this bacon screams like it was cooked yesterday and then like warmed up. It wasn't bad bacon, but it just wasn't. It didn't scream freshly cooked to me. I may be wrong. It has been known for me to be wrong. So the beans, now this is going to surprise you. This was my favourite part of this breakfast. These beans were really, really tasty. They had a nice sweetness to them. Maybe even these was like cooked and left in a pot or something, because I love my beans when they are cooked low and slow. So it gives them a bit more of a nice texture. Fried bread. This was okay, decent bread. You got a couple of slices of, well, one slice of bread cut in half as well. Nice and fresh bread, nicely buttered there. They didn't ask me if I wanted it buttered or unbuttered or anything like that. There was another guy who ordered this exact same breakfast and he swapped his bread for toast, so that is an option. Like I said, the fried bread wasn't greasy at all. It was nice, crisp fried bread. And like I said earlier, when you got a runny egg, that's what it's for, to dip other things in, which I'm a big fan of. Okay, so that was the breakfast. So, what do you guys think to that? I'll sum it up outside.
Thank you, cheers. Okay, that was the Conservatory Coffee Shop breakfast. What do you guys think to that? Now, I had to do a voiceover in there because there was a dog barking. They do allow dogs, you saw the sign there. They even serve dogs a sausage dish for £1, sausage and scrambled egg for £2, which I quite like. Obviously, it's a bit... I've got mixed feelings. I'm a dog person. Obviously, you've seen my Sunday, and I love to take him to the pub. But when you try to film, so it's one of them. I can't really be complaining about a dog barking. It were a little yappy dog, so I didn't know how the sound were going to come out, so I decided to just do a voiceover. It is what it is. Breakfast. I'm trying to be nice because it is an independent business, and I get that, but it was average at best. I think the beans were the best part of the breakfast, which, when you know me, with my beans, if that's the best part of the breakfast, then I think there's something wrong. It was just cheap produce. Obviously you had them tiny little cheap sausages. The bacon was okay, to be fair. The bread was nice. It was nice fresh bread. Overall, I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10. It was just an average breakfast. But you know what? For £4.40, as long as you buy a drink, what do you want? That's my feelings. It'd have been better if it were $3.95, and it'd been even better 2 years ago when it was $3.25. But obviously everything's going up. I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comments. You'll probably say that it was absolutely horrible, horrendous, terrible. But it didn't taste too bad. Oh, the chips were nice actually. Although I don't think they belong on a breakfast. It's 8:30 in the morning, I'm eating deep fried chips. But yeah, they were nicely deep fried chips. Proper, what I'd call seaside chips. Anyway, it's starting to rain now in typical British fashion. So my plan to get another fish and chip review in might have to fall by the wayside if it's still raining when I'm at dinner time, because I've got to get home. Okay, that's all from me for today. If I can possibly get another review in if it stops raining, I will try for you guys tomorrow. But if not, we'll be back home. Not in the kitchen though. I'm not going back there for a while. Right, okay. Take care, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.